Hello, I am David, the AI-powered tutor. Did you know that this video series was created using an artificial intelligence-powered video automation bot? If you would like to know more about its features, please visit ai.datascience.1. Hello world. Welcome to the Introduction to Python Programming video tutorial by Data Science Academy. We will learn a little bit more about functions in Python. To refresh what you have learned earlier, please watch the playlist mentioned in the description. Have fun programming in bits. We ask you to practice the examples mentioned in the tutorial. Please leave a comment if you have any queries or need some clarification. When a function calls itself, such a function is called a recursive function. Here, we will write a script to calculate the factorial of a given number, using recursive functions. In other words, the function calls itself recursively. To refresh, the factorial of a number is the product of the given number with all positive numbers less than itself. Running this script, we can calculate the factorial of any given number. In this example, we calculate the factorial for the number 5. The result is calculated by multiplying 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, giving the answer of 120. A function can also return more complex data structures, such as dictionaries and lists. We will start with dictionaries. Here we create a function called countries, with name and city as the parameters. Note that these are the values for the dictionaries which we will create. Here we use country and capital as our keys. The input given by the user, in the form of arguments, is stored as values in the dictionary called destination. This dictionary is displayed by the return statement. After we execute the script called countries, we can call the function and provide the values to the keys. In this example, we have provided Portugal as the value to the key called country, and Lisbon as the value to the key called capital. Functions can also be applied to lists. This simplifies complex code. In this script called passengers, we have defined a function called intro. This function takes a list as an argument and loops through each element of a list and prints a nice welcome message. We start by running, also called executing, the script, which contains the function we have defined. We create a list called passengers, with fictional characters from a popular film, and provide it as the argument to the parameter of the function. Running the function called intro, with the list, passengers, prints out messages as though the characters are introducing themselves. A function can also be called with an arbitrary number of arguments, which will be saved as a tuple. The asterisk, in the parameter, tells Python to make an empty tuple called planets, and store any value it receives, into the tuple. By running the script called planets, we can use the function within this script to add one or more elements to an empty tuple. In the first instance, when we pass only one argument to the function, it results in a tuple with only one element. In the second instance, we have added an arbitrary number of elements, in this case the names of a few planets, which were added to another empty tuple. A function can also be called with an arbitrary number of keyword arguments, all of which will be saved as a dictionary. The double asterisk before the parameter country info causes Python to create an empty dictionary called country info, and store whatever key value pairs it receives, into this dictionary. Note that we have commented out the previous code to repurpose the script. Upon successfully running the script, the function, named countries, will be called. This function takes two arguments defined for the parameters, namely, country and capital. In addition to these, we have added an arbitrary number of other key value pairs as extra information for the country. Observe that while providing key value pairs using arbitrary arguments, the key is not enclosed within quotation marks. Only the value, if it is a string, is enclosed within quotation marks. In Python, we can store the functions we have defined in a file and use them as a script. The same file can also be used within idle, and such a file is called a module. The file is given the same name as the module name, and has the .py file extension. Here we store the code in a file called mymaths.py to perform basic arithmetic operations. This file is called a module and can be imported into the active idle shell. Within idle, we can access the functions we have defined in mymaths module, using the import function followed by the file name. Make sure that the file is in the same working directory as idle. After the module has been successfully imported, all the functions within the module becomes available. These functions can be executed by calling the name of the module, followed by a dot, and finally the function. As an illustrative example, we call two functions, namely add and sub, to perform addition and subtraction respectively. It is also possible to import specific parts of the module by explicitly naming the functions. To do this, the syntax is shown in the screenshot, that is, from name of the module, import, name of the function within the module. The imported function is accessible directly by its name. In this example, we have imported only the function called divide, from the module, mymaths. It is also possible to import multiple functions from a module. This is achieved by mentioning the functions separated by comma. When the name of a function that is being imported conflicts with an existing function, or if the function name is too long, then we can use a short unique alias with the syntax as shown. Here, the multiply function which we have defined in the module called mymaths, has been imported with a short alias, m. This can be used as any other function within idle. It is possible to import all functions from a module with an asterisk sign. This imports all functions, except those beginning with an underscore. Note that in general, the practice of using import all from a module using an asterisk is not recommended, since it may introduce an unknown set of names into idle, possibly hiding some other functions you may have already defined. However, it is okay to use it to save typing in interactive sessions. With this we conclude the video on functions. We hope that you learned something new today. Practice what you learned. And see you soon in the next video of this Python programming series. In the next video, we will learn about file handling in Python. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.